We have Miss Lucy Greer, who is in the kitchen with us with Greer's Market, making a roasted turkey breast and another little sweet treat on the side. Lucy, Joe, what's going on in the kitchen? Tell us all about it. It smells good already.
Yeah, it certainly does smell good. Lucy, are you okay?
I am okay.
She just cut herself literally 10 seconds ago.
I'm okay.
Do we need to cancel the show?
No way.
The show is canceled.
The show is canceled.
Dead air from now until 10 o'clock.
That reminds me, though, which I was getting the core out of the apple with this little thing, and when I was in culinary school, I was working in a restaurant up in Birmingham, and it was like midway through the dinner shift, and we needed more mashed potatoes.
Okay.
So I was in charge of peeling the potatoes, and of course I'm trying to hurry.
Yeah.
And I sliced my hand so bad. Actually, I sliced my hand another time when I was working in that restaurant too.
Man, we're canceling the show. We're bringing up bad memories. We do, we do have a first aid kit somewhere, so if you need a Band-Aid during the commercial break, we can work on that. Cool. All right, so tell the folks what we're working on today in the kitchen.
Okay, so Thanksgiving is right in front of us, and I thought that today we could talk a little bit about turkey.
Yes.
And today we're going to do a roasted turkey breast. So a lot of people don't have huge gatherings, or maybe you wanted to just, your family really likes white meat, so you wanted to do a turkey and a turkey breast. And a turkey breast is a really great option because, of course, it's, just the breast, it's the white meat, and it doesn't take as long to cook and is super affordable.
Let me interrupt here with this. So Kendra was asking us where we shop earlier. I need to go to Greer's to get this, and I'm dead serious because this is the first time ever in Thanksgiving history that I can remember where we've only had 4 of us.
Yeah.
All the family is going to different locations, so it's just my wife and I and our 2 kids. So this will be perfect for the amount of turkey that we need this year.
Yes, absolutely, and it's super affordable. Like I said, we have, of course, turkeys, all different sizes, all different brands, but this turkey breast, it's about a 5-pound turkey breast, and it was only a little over $1 a pound, so this whole thing was, less than $6, which is a great value, and you can cook it a lot of different ways. I just roasted this one in the oven, but you can put it in the crock pot. A lot of people have those air fryers now. You could put it in there, so it's really versatile, and we're going to season it up super simple in a little bit, and we're also going to make some curried apples today. Now, a lot of people might be thinking, oh, I don't like curry, and it's really interesting. I don't know if anybody else's family ate these growing up, but we always had them growing up, and it's a cinnamon sugar bake that we're gonna liquid that we're gonna put our apples in and bake it in the oven. So it's kind of a different side dish if you wanted to do something different.
Very cool.
I was also thinking it'd be good over vanilla ice cream.
Ooh, that would be good.
I may be picking up some ice cream on the way home. So we're just gonna start with a cup of water. And I'm going to add in a cup of sugar, and we're just going to cook this until the sugar dissolves. I mean, not a cup of sugar, half a cup of sugar, half a cup of brown sugar.
So as you mentioned, this is kind of a non-traditional Thanksgiving Southern dish. How did you guys get this idea in the first place?
I don't know. I need to ask my grandmother. It's my my family on my dad's side, and we have a Wheeler family cookbook, which was my grandmother's maiden name is Wheeler, and it's in there, and we just had it, and my mom used to make it too, to take it down the bay when we'd be going to holiday dinner. So I need to call Nene and ask her, where did this come from? So I added a little bit of cinnamon, and then the curry powder was the last thing that, curry powder you just get, and like I said, we're just gonna let this cook just until it dissolves. So we'll put it, over some heat. And what I started doing over here before I cut myself was I have an 8x8 baking dish, and I just use a tablespoon of butter and just put it down. And I was just cutting up about 3 pounds. I'm using Granny Smith apples. You could use whatever apples you want. And I just peeled it and was just putting those into, slices like that. And then we're just going to bake it in the oven. So it's simple, and it'll be kind of a nice twist if you wanted to try something new, which is kind of fun to do for the holidays.
Very cool. So we'll talk more about both of these recipes. We'll have the information online for Greer's. Go check that out. And I'll go talk to our HR department and find a Band-Aid for Lucy here. Kendra?
Welcome back to Studio 10. We are back in the kitchen, and it's Wednesday, so you know we are with the one and only Lucy Greer with Greer's Market, and we are making a kind of different spin of a holiday meal. So run it back one more time, exactly what we're making, and kind of break down our next steps to this meal for those who've been watching.
All right. We are making, well, we already got to work on our curried apples.
Yum, it smells so good.
It does. It definitely smells like the holidays for sure. We got to work on our liquid that we're going to be pouring over.
Can I stir?
Yes, please. Pouring over our apples. And this was a cup of water. We had half a cup of sugar, half a cup of brown sugar. We added a little bit of cinnamon in there, a little bit of salt, and the curry powder, which is, you know, why we're calling it curried apples, and it's going to give the apples a pretty yellow kind of fall color tint. And then we did the juice of a lemon and the juice of an orange, and we just cook that just for a few minutes to let the sugar develop. Yeah, and it's going to be really nice and warm and just something different. And I have 3 pounds of Granny Smith apples in here. I know, they're my fave too. Yay. And I just peeled those, and once we pour that over it, we're just going to, which we can go ahead and do that. Okay. We're just going to bake that in the oven, and it'll take, I don't know, about an hour, and about every 20 minutes, you'll just want to stir the apples so that way, you know, they all get coated.
You know what I like about this meal? You can kind of have the little kiddos help out too. You know how they always want to have their hands? They can pour something over the apples. They can stir every so often. So, you know, you can make it a family affair.
Yes, my kids love to stir, you know, which my boys that are 3 and a half, one of them really enjoys being in the kitchen and it's fun. So he gets up on his little stool, and you're exactly right, you know, and that way, you know, they can snack on some apples while you're doing it. And
sneak one in their mouth.
Always nice to be able to get them in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Even though it tests your patience sometimes.
But it's worth it in the end.
It's worth it in the end.
Okay, next step.
Okay, so we are also doing today a turkey breast. So a lot of people don't have a huge crowd come in for Thanksgiving.
Correct.
And it's really simple. We talked earlier, you could do it in the crock pot, you could do it in your air fryer.
Easy way, that's what I would do, crock pot.
I know, and that way you really wouldn't have to worry about it.
Right.
You know, if you're a little bit nervous about it staying moist or something like that, then you could put it in your crock pot, put it in your air fryer. We're gonna roast it in the oven today. You could put it in your smoker, so really versatile. And it's a great value too. This is about a 5-pound turkey breast, and of course the bone is in, as you can see. And this cost, I got them at Greer's, less than $6 for all of this. So it's
definitely an affordable meal. College students, if you're staying close by, this is for you.
Definitely. So I have it in a roasting pan. You could put it on a bed of vegetables and put it in there, you know, whatever you like to do. So I have 1 stick of unsalted butter that I just let come to room temp.
Got it.
And I added a tablespoon of kosher salt, and now I'm adding a teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm doing 3/4 teaspoon of poultry seasoning.
I love these little cups. They are
I know. So you can, and that's another good thing for the kids to help out, you know, teaching them how to measure, measurements and all that kind of stuff. The kids always like to grab my those little things out of the pantry, and they, you know, are shaking them around. Sometimes they get them open, but they like to think they're cooking. Like you said, testing your patience. Yes, test my patience, but it's so fun. And we are going to, I already rinsed this off and patted it dry.
Got it.
So, and some of them, this one really has a lot of skin on top, which is nice. So we'll be able to get this butter up under the skin. We'll put a little bit in the cavity. And if you have a certain way that you like to season, you know, your full turkey, you could certainly do it that way. But a lot of people will probably have poultry seasoning if they're making dressing. And I just wanted to do it super simple today. So now that we got this mixed together, you're just gonna start. Like this is what I was saying about the turkey.
I feel like you're a surgeon about to go into surgery.
No, luckily I had some gloves in my car. Of course, you would just wash your hands. But as you can see, you just can lift up the skin and stick in the butter and kind of massage it in there. And of course, the good thing about butter is
some tender loving care.
Yeah, it's gonna of course melt and keep everything super flavorful and super moist. So, you know, if you get it under the skin, you can just kind of push it down. And all you'll do is just work it all around. Once we get it, you know, in there, then we'll just put a little bit on top. And just spread it all around, and
I'm
then we'll put a little
so
bit inside.
Intimidated by making turkey. I don't know if I'll ever be that person who brings turkey to the event or for the holidays. It just seems like so much work and so many steps, and it's such a main ingredient. So kudos to you for breaking it down at least a simpler way.
Yeah, this is definitely a simpler way, and it's going to be really simple because all we're going to do at this point, once we get it all buttered up, is stick it in at 350, and that's it. We're just going to cook it for, we're almost done. So we're just going to cook it for about 20 minutes per pound.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about the thermometer later, but it's super important to make sure it gets to 165. But if you just get a thermometer, I just grab that off the shelf at Greer's.
Good to go.
And you're good to go.
We are back in the Studio 10 kitchen. I've got a box full of Band-Aids just to keep you safe for any future issues.
I almost had to ask you for another one, but luckily...
Are you going to pass out? Are you okay?
I'm not going to pass out, but I may have to call in sick today.
You may have to, yep. We have it on tape. There was an incident. Lucy cannot go to work today at Greer's. Okay, so we've got that ready to go.
She'll be at home eating turkey and apples.
At home, just chowing down. So that's what we're working on today. Man, this looks good.
Yeah, we are all finished up. We made our baked curry apples, so these are ready to go in the oven. These are going to take about an hour to cook, and we're going to just stir them every 20 minutes at 350. We made that yummy sauce that we put on them with brown sugar, our curry powder, lemon juice, orange juice. We cut up some Granny Smith apples, and so that's kind of a unique side dish if you want to do something different. And then we also are doing a roasted turkey breast today. So we talked about the bone-in turkey breast being a great value. We mixed up some butter, a little bit of poultry seasoning, salt and pepper, super simple. So I just rub the butter under the skin and on top the best you can. It's kind of hard to rub the butter on the skin, but of course the butter is going to melt and get all over the turkey. So, and it's super simple to do this too, because we're just going to pop this in at 350. We're going to cook it for 20 minutes per pound, and you want the internal temperature to be 165. So I just grabbed this off the shelf when I was getting everything else, and this can go in the oven. So you can buy thermometers that you can insert, and it cooks in there, and so that way you know exactly when to take it out. So we're going to cook this until it's 165, and then we're going to pull it out and let it rest for a bit before we slice it. So you would just put this in at the thickest part of the breast. So two kind of easy things to do for Thanksgiving.
I tested it out, and I'm still currently at 98.6.
I was worried. I wonder what I am. I wonder what I am with my with my blood loss.
Hey, we got to talk about you can order, if you do not want to cook, you can order your dinner at Greer's. Talk to us about that.
Yes, absolutely. We have 30 locations across 3 states, and we have 18 delis. So any store that has a deli, we're preparing holiday meals. We have turkey and ham dinners, with the sides, or if you were going to cook all your own sides and you just wanted to order the turkey or the ham, then we could get that prepared for you. So we all that information is of course in store, but it's also on our website, greers.com. And of course we have all of our holiday specials out because people are already shopping for Thanksgiving. And it is important, if you are gonna shop last minute or shop ahead of time, the most important thing when it comes to turkey is making sure that you give enough time to defrost. Yeah.
All right.
So make sure that you give enough time for that. And if you are in a hurry, you can defrost it in cold water. If you're on a rush, don't leave it on the counter.
All the information is online. Think about Greer's for all of your holiday shopping moving forward.